Hello and welcome to Policy and Politics with me, Tarun Nangia. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal, day before yesterday, launched a scheme which is called the Single Window Clearance System. The Single Window Clearance System will ease a lot of permission for exporters, and in fact, as many as 22,000 unnecessary permissions have also been done away with. This all will, in a sense, bring an era of progress for the industry because the time saved on account of unnecessary permissions is a lot, and single window itself will bring in a lot of clarity in terms of how businesses are to proceed with their work, because we can understand all in India that permissions in India take a lot of time, and simply putting a single window system in place, I think the Commerce Ministry has done a good job. This also was followed by, we all know, Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently visiting the United States of America, meeting CEOs there to get an investment to India. How all this is falling into place as far as the economy is concerned, I have with me economic spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Gopal Krishna Agarwal. Thank you so much for sparing your time and joining us on today's show. Mr. Agarwal, in an opening comment, could you explain the single window clearance system and other issues?
I must appreciate the programs which I attend with your channel, Shri Tarun Nangia ji. They are very informative and focus on the business development and initiatives of the government, which are beneficial to the business communities. And I appreciate this very much. The one thing that today that you are talking about is a single window clearance. It is one of the important initiative, another milestone in where our government has been taking steps towards disintermediation. What is happening in the industry ecosystem is, as many agents or as many departments or as many ministries you add into any permission or any setup of industries, you increase the time the individual industry or business community spends on those permission, and at the same time it also increases the cost. So the time spent on the permissions and the cost to the business community is tremendous. So this whole process is identified as disintermediation, and this single window clearance is another step of disintermediation which our government under Shri Narendra Modi ji is taking. In this, as Piyush ji 2-3 days back, when he launched in his press release, he said that this is an important initiative where 18 initially on the first phase, 18 ministries have been integrated, and about 9 states have been integrated, where permissions for these 9 states and these 18 ministries, one can get through single window on an online basis. If he needs any of the permission from any of these ministries, he has to simply at a click of button apply for that, and those permissions will be processed and he will get the permission. And even he will not have to run to one state after another. 9 states have integrated themselves into the single window clearance initiative of the government. And in the second phase, as the minister has said, that 14 more ministries and 5 states will also be integrated into it. So the total of 14 and 18, 32 ministries and 14 states will be integrated. And the thing is, the beauty of this is that the information will automatically be collated. One has to not file multiple forms, etc. for different things. The information sharing among the ministries and the information collation from various departments, etc., will be automatic on an online basis. So this is very important step which will help in the ease of doing business.
Mr. Agarwal, Mr. Piyush Goyal, the Commerce Minister, said that 103 offenses the government has decriminalized, as also 327 redundant provisions have been done away with. I want to understand from you that what is the government's motive in terms of, see, over the past so many years, we have added a lot of provisions, permissions, and offenses. To becoming a lean, mean government, there is a lot of work to be done, and this has started happening. Where are we heading in a sense? Is the government, in a sense, as a government? Because see, there are 4-5 measures. Monetization program, where government will shed a lot of in a sense industries which the government should not be running. It should be the private sector that should be running. Permissions are being reduced. What is happening at the government level? Could you share with us?
The thing is, the first part of your question is that decriminalization of various laws. It's very important because when you are doing some white collar business or industry, etc., there are certain laws which define, there are rules, regulation, then there are permissions, then there are other issues which are compliances, etc. And when a business is running, there are certain lapses on the implementation level, at the government level also, and at the business or industries level also. So what is being said at the various level is, if you criminalize these white collar issues, permissions, compliances, then the business becomes unviable and very complicated. And the civil liabilities, there should not be criminal offense penalties for any civil liability. So one thing, the government has successively went on to a mode where there are, on the civil liabilities or compliances side, there were certain provisions in the laws which would make them criminal offenses. So that is not called for. It is undue harshness, and it just repulses people from taking up any business, taking any risk, or doing any new entrepreneurship, etc. It is a very major bottleneck in setting up any new industry or businesses. So decriminalization of various laws is also an important part of ease of doing business and promoting entrepreneurship, taking new businesses, taking new risk, etc. And business is basically risk taking. So one thing, even in the last budget, when the new company law was implemented, many of the laws which were where compliances, etc., lapses on any compliances would have been attracted criminal penalties, that have been done away with. And this is one of the important demand from the industry. Second part of your question is about many of the laws which have been done away with. Prime Minister has said over the last 6 or 7 years, more than 1,500 laws which were clearly act and laws which were completely redundant. They had no use at present. Certain laws which were enacted in 1947 and at present scenario, they have no significance for that. They were also creating problems to the industries. Successively, the government has been doing completely doing away with those laws. So because of these efforts, that we have seen that India has jumped to almost from in 2015 from 81 rank in Global Innovation Index. At present, it is at the 46th rank. Ease of doing business, we are almost at the rate of 60, rank of 60th rank, which was 142 in 2013-14. So over the years, the government has focused on ease of doing business, innovation, startup ecosystem, entrepreneurship, decriminalization of various white collar businesses, etc. And in addition to all that, removing the subjectivity of the bureau administration, where they so that every permission, etc., and the permissions, all licenses, etc., are given to the business communities on an online basis without their running from one pillar to post and asking to clerical staff to get their files moving fast. So these are very important. We see this happening in virtual assessment. We see it in GST, various permissions, even the small steps like self-attestation had been not allowed in the Indian business ecosystem, which has been now allowed. So simplification of business processes, removal of redundant laws, making permissions, etc., completely online without any subjective interventions, etc., have created a good atmosphere for our business community to grow and manufacturing sector to develop.
Now, I want to understand from you. The Commerce Ministry recently spoke about an export target of $400 billion. As we could see, our exports are rising as a country. You think which all areas we have good potential in terms of exports? What are the areas you think the government is putting its focus and emphasis on as far as exports are concerned? Because we have seen in the past 30 years, all export oriented economies have turned into developed economies, be it South Korea, be it Japan, be it China, be it the other ASEAN countries. All these countries developed on the back of their exports. Where are we headed as far as exports are concerned?
Post-pandemic, one thing is there that there is a positive news on the side of increase in the export. 45% increase in mercantile export. Merchandise export has been registered over last few months and 1 year, etc. It's an increase of almost 45%. And another heartening news is that even the agro processed food industry has also seen an increase of 22% in the agri export. So export have seen a very big jump. And this is because at one point of time, government has focused on integrating manufacturing and giving them proper land, etc. The initiative like Swamitva, etc., where the land records are digitized so that and land banks are being created at the state level, which are available for industries to set up their industries. Even Uttar Pradesh, etc., have seen major reforms like labor reforms, which are big, which are initiative for industries to promote their industries. So similarly, central government is also working on labor reforms. The areas where our industries have a lot of potential is on the one important area is about the pharmaceutical industry. Post-pandemic, we have seen that our pharmaceutical industry, which was almost controlling 26% of the global generic medicine, has further shown strong potential for growth. And even the vaccination, we have almost more than 60% capacity of vaccine manufacturing in India. So globally, we can be a strong player and supplier of vaccination and generic medicines. The government is focusing on them. Even automobile industry has shown very good over the last several years, good growth. And for our automobile industry is very well integrated into the regional and global supply chain with the car manufacturers, etc. So the government has announced production-linked PLI schemes in 13 sectors, where the government thinks that we will do good in the manufacturing sector. Those sectors like textile, pharmaceuticals, automobile, even on the renewable energy side, India is taking big lead in the international arena. We have set up National Hydrogen Mission, which will be a game changer in the renewable energy system and solar energy also, and other renewable energy also. Our domestic industry is making good progress. Even on the e-commerce, etc., is also a positive side is being looked into, because we have a large domestic consumption market, which helps FMCG and other products.
I have 2 points for you. First, in Uttar Pradesh, there is a plan for a defense corridor, which is going to come up. Secondly, there is another problem which, defense corridor actually is an asset, because of course, capacity will be created in India. But there, for export, there is a problem of shortage of containers these days. Containers are available at prices which are very high. So they say that India needs its own shipping lines. We should have our own export shipping lines. You think any work will be done in that area in the coming months?
One thing that our government has identified is about the logistic policy. Our transportation of raw material and even the finished goods. The cost of that transportation in the global standards is almost 40% higher than the global standard. So our government has come out with a new logistic policy where all kind of connectivity is being implemented, whether it is freight corridor, airports, then Sagarmala, all these connectivities, even the waterways, etc., are being created. So, Shri Nitin Gadkari ji is taking a lot of initiative on these issues. The connectivity is an important issue where transportation is efficient and takes place. Even as you have mentioned that the Sagarmala will help into transportation through the sea, though there is a shortage of container, and that is because of after pandemic, certain policies at the level of China did hamper the global supply of containers. So now it is easing out. Ultimately, government has also supported with, today also in the cabinet, government has announced about this export guarantee payment. Government is releasing almost 56,000 crores of rupee to the exporters, where there are certain amount of incentives and the subsidies which they were getting had been held up. So government is looking for towards export growth, and we are also setting up integrated multinodal the transportation hub, which one is being set up at Dadri in Uttar Pradesh, where there will be interlinking of transportation mechanism of airways. Airport, Jewar Airport is coming. Railways, Dadri is a big junction where railways, railway line are together, and then there's a eastern peripheral road highway is being constructed, and FMG is Faridabad, Noida, and Ghaziabad highway is being corrided, and the freight corridor from Delhi to Mumbai is also passing through it. So multimodal transportation hub is being implemented. So logistic policy will help and tackle all these issues of transportation and reducing the cost for our manufacturing and for raw material as well as finished products.
As far as renewables are concerned, in terms of greener, the electric car is being talked about, and government is pushing electric car as a product that should get, in a sense, greater acceptance in society. We also have the option of hybrid vehicles, where they work on battery as well as petrol. What initiatives the government is taking in that area? Because the raw material for electric car, which in a sense is lithium ion, we don't find it in India, or at least now, as of now, we are not, in a sense, generating it locally, finding it locally. It may be in future. What steps the government is taking on the e-vehicle mission?
One thing is, this is a slightly complicated issue because we went on for a sixth emission levels. So, we asked our industry, automobile industry, to implement them, and they are saying, yeah, emission 6 norms. So compliant in the vehicles had to be manufactured. So lot of investment by the automobile sector has been done in this new segments, which is emission 6 norms compliant vehicles. So one thing is that if we suddenly move to electric vehicle, that investment will become redundant. So one issue is there. Second thing is, once you implement even the electric vehicle, start manufacturing electric vehicle, there is a question of network of charging stations. So we need that infrastructure of electric charging stations. So national network of electric charging stations is also required. So the government is working on that, where new players are being encouraged to set up the set up a network of electric charging stations. Second is about the availability of battery. Battery is because more than 60-70% of the cost of electric vehicle is on the battery side. So that is a big issue. And at present, we are importing our batteries, etc. So that is, as you have mentioned, that lithium and other batteries, we have shortage. So what other few options can be taken? I think government is working on other fuel system like ethanol being mixed into the petrol. Then can hydrogen become the alternative to the fuel consumption? So, but we are moving slowly on electric vehicle segment, but building the infrastructure, considering the situation on the ground.
One last question is, what do you think is the potential of hybrid vehicles in India, given that hybrid involve the best of the efficiency of battery and also the power of internal combustion, which is petrol diesel?
Yeah, that's a very good initiative. And as the Prime Minister in his US visit 2 days back has also again reiterated his commitment to carbon emission norms and the climate change. And India is a leader in the initiative of climate conservation, etc. So we have set up certain targets of emission which we have to meet. So this all require that we move to a clean energy, green energy. And if we cannot go for complete electric vehicle, then the best option till the infrastructure for recharging and battery, etc., is improved, we can go for a hybrid mode. Industry has to work on that, and government is encouraging, providing incentives. Even government has included into the PLI, and almost 3 lakh crore of PLI investment into 13 sector has been provided. And automobile is one of the important segment for the development of manufacturing in India.
Now, we're ending the show on a very good note. Our next show should be on hybrid vehicles in India. That is a big market in America and other countries. Electric is also growing, but hybrid is also growing. How can we encourage both hybrid as well as electric? And that could be a very good issue. But thank you so much for sparing time at a short notice and joining us today on Policy and Politics. We hope all the viewers will find useful this very fruitful interaction of what's happening in the government as far as the economy is concerned, and how investment will come into India and how permissions will be eased out as seen in the single window clearance announced by the Ministry of Commerce.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure always to talk.